Well, here I am this morning, and I decided that I wanted to have an Inspirazione Napoli. I've already had this, I think I reviewed it last week, and I enjoyed it so much, I decided I'm going to have it again. So I've heated up just a little bit of almond coconut milk here. Before I brew this, though, I want to tell you a little bit about it. So the intensity of the coffee in this little capsule is a 13. That means it has to do with the strength of flavor and the caffeine, okay? So a lot of people think intensity means how much caffeine it has. No, it's more the intensity of the flavor. And the intensity of the flavor usually has to do with whether it has more Robusta or Arabica. This is mostly Robusta from Uganda, and it has a little bit of South American Arabica in it. Of course, also, the intensity, the flavor, and the caffeine content of coffee are affected by how long they're roasted. And these are slippery little capsules, easy to drop them. I don't want to drop them into my mug with milk here. Where the coffee's grown, how it's grown, how long it spends on the coffee bush, maturing. And what I'm trying to say is there are a lot of different aspects to what ends up giving your cup of coffee the character, the strength, the caffeine content that it has. And I've been reading about this, and I'm not quite sure how to go about kind of attacking the subject to give you more clarity. Of course, you could just Google it, right? But I'm trying to break this down in a way that I can understand it better. So anyway, for right now, I've got my laptop open here. I'm just looking. It says, let's see. Okay, one of the reasons that they use Robusta beans, because they're very dense and rich in oils, so that they can be roasted longer. And apparently they roast these when they're making this particular coffee. They roast them to within an inch of their life, like just before they would end up burning up. So they get a whole lot of roasting. And also it says it's a very fine grind. Now, of course, you have to keep in mind, because coffee is, it's a plant, okay? So you know how you can get, I'm going to use the example of produce from a farm, let's say, and or maybe you grow your own vegetables, or maybe you have nut trees like pecan trees, or anything that's grown. You're going to have variation, okay? And there's going to be variation from year to year, weather conditions and all that sort of stuff. So there will be some variation. However, it's not usually going to be something that you taste in a quantity, this small. However, there can be a variation in caffeine. And Nespresso says that the caffeine in this Inspirazione Napoli, which is Naples, Napoli is Naples, that it's 109 milligrams, which is a good, that's a hefty amount. So I'm going to go ahead and brew this. I'm brewing it on the espresso setting. However, if you look on the Nespresso website, it shows that it could be brewed, as a little tiny short cup or a long cup. You can do it as a lungo. But it is made to be an espresso. And I was reading on the Green Pods, which is a website from New Zealand about coffee, that usually when coffee is made in, prepackaged in capsules like this, it is made for a certain size of cup, a certain amount of extraction. And so you should follow the rules. Okay. Give it a little stir and kind of fold in that crema. Oh, this is so strong. This is a definite, if you need to wake up coffee, this is it. It just has a strength to it, but a richness. And Nespresso characterizes this as a velvety, creamy cup of coffee, and it is. One thing that I've come to appreciate about drinking espressos is that even though it's a tiny little cup, and you could just knock it back in one gulp easily, the flavor is so rich and complex that you just want to savor it. And take little sips. Ooh, this is so good. Oh my gosh. Now, I usually share something a little inspirational every day. I'm going to go ahead and share this. If you're not interested, if you're just on here for the coffee, then just, cut off the video now. But this is a quote that I heard. This, actually a comedian, a guy named Drew Allen, said this, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is so funny, but also so much truth to it. And I think that every one of us, in one way or another, can relate to this. He said, a bully's job is to say terrible things about you and make you feel bad about yourself until you're old enough to just do that naturally for yourself. How many of us have negative thoughts and feelings about ourselves that are because of things that people said or did long ago? Make the bully's job stop. Stop believing things that are from your past, things maybe that used to be true about you, or things that were false, that somebody just said to, hurt you or rile you up or, upset you. Look at who you are today. Be who you are today. All you have is this moment. Don't live in the past. Don't be consumed with worrying about the future. Live in this moment today.